on, fam? It's your fam, Zay. Get the back at y'all with another video. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, all glory, all honor, all esteem to Abba Yahuwah and Yahushua Mashiach for using me as a vessel to work in and through me. So the title of this video gonna be Cut Off All Distractions. So you gotta understand that, fam. You see, everybody got potential. Everybody got the potential to become something, to make something out of themselves, to make an impact in this world. You gotta understand that, fam. Anybody is capable and willing enough to become the next millionaire, to become the next billionaire, the trillionaire. You gotta understand that, fam. You gotta understand. You gotta cut off anybody out of your life that's hindering you or that's pulling you down, that's slowing you down, pulling you back in life, that distracting you. You gotta understand that anybody that's distracting you from your promise, distracting you from where you trying to go or your vision or where you trying to, or where you see yourself going, you gotta understand it don't matter if it's family. It can be your mom, your dad, your grandma, your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles, your friends. You gotta understand that. And you see what be putting fear into people, or what stop people from cutting people off, is because they loved ones, or that's their blood family, or they grew up with them, or them old memories and them old bonds that y'all had. You gotta understand that. You see, old memories and old bonds don't mean nothing. You see, when you trying to go somewhere, your loved ones, it can be your own people that try to set you back. It can be your own people that try to distract you, and it can be your own people that try to take you out. You gotta understand that, fam. It be the closest one to you, who knew you your whole life, who know everything you had going on in your life, who know everything you went through, or know everything that you got going on, that can slow you down because they know all your moves. You gotta understand that, fam. So you gotta understand, if anybody is slowing you down, distracting you from where you trying to go, you gotta understand that it ain't no problem with cutting them off. You see, that's why they say it's lonely at the top, because even people who at the top had to cut their family members off, had to cut their loved ones off, just for the sake of them trying to sacrifice and being obedient and trying to do things that's best for them. You gotta understand that. And you see your loved ones and people that don't understand where you're going, or don't understand your vision. They gonna look at you like you changed up, or you switched up, or you selfish, or this and that. But they don't understand. They don't understand where you're going. When you get there, they probably might understand, but they don't understand because they look at it like, oh, you just all in it for yourself, or you just trying to do this and that for yourself. But no, you just trying to stay focused. You're not trying to get distracted. You see, if you hanging around people and they ain't doing nothing with their life, they're doing the same thing, laying around, doing the same thing year after year, then why you still with them? You see, it can be your own circle that can be holding you down, pulling you down. You see, they just want to sit around and talk about girls all day, or talk about going to the club, or popping bottles, or this and that. Nobody want to do that all day. I mean, it may sound fun, but it ain't fun. You going out and celebrating failure. You ain't really doing nothing with your life. If you ain't upgrading and evolving and growing mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually, then what is you doing with your life? You gotta understand that we put here to grow and evolve. You gotta understand that we put here to overcome anything. You gotta understand that you see, the Most High, He wants you to be great. He wants you to be successful, but you gotta want it. You gotta want it for yourself. You gotta cut people off who holding you down. You know who holding you back or distracting you, because you the one in your life. You don't want to experience it. You the one going through it. So you the only one who can determine who you cut out of your life. You gotta understand that when you become the CEO, you get to pick who comes in and out of your life, who you cut off, who you bring in your life, who you hire, who you fire. You gotta understand that, fam. And I'm not to say that everybody, you need to cut off everybody. It's the ones that distracting you. You gotta understand that it may be people in your group who got the same vision as you, or who see the same outcome as you, and want to do the same thing as you, and make an impact. It's okay with being around them, but being around them all the time is where it's gonna be. You gotta understand that, because you gotta take time out for yourself. But if you got a few people in your group who see what you on and want to be on the same type of time and you on, then it's okay to be around them. I'm not telling you what to do with your life, but you got to understand that at the same time, it could be the people around you, the people you going around all day or hanging around, that could be slowing you down and wanting to pull you down. You see, sometimes people can sense that you're going to be successful before you even become successful. Sometimes people know you're going to be rich before you become rich, and they want to do everything in their power to blind you, to distract you from doing that. They want to do everything in their power to keep you in the dark, from waking up to your truth, from waking up to what you possess in the inside. You got to understand that. So you got to be wise who you keep around you, who you watch around you, because the people closest to you can snake you out, can do anything to try to set you up, to try to get you killed, to try to do anything. You got to understand that. And that's the bad part about it. The bad part is you don't know who real and who not. That's the bad part. That's why it's important to pray and do all this and that, because I know how hard that is. I went through it on my own, not knowing who really around you. People telling you they love you and they're gonna be there for you, and you believe in that, but they keep showing you time at time and time after again they ain't really rocking with you. But you stand with them not because of what they did, but because of y'all memories, y'all grew up with, or because y'all grew up and you not knowing how to cut them off. And that could be the hardest part about it, bro. That's what hold people back a lot, is the memories, because you grew up with them, because they family. Not to say when you get to the top you can't go back around them or do all this and that, but even so, when you get to the top and you go back around and they may try to pull you down, they may try to set you up or do something, you got to understand that's why you got to be careful. So if it's anybody around you that's slowing you down or that's stopping your potential, because everybody has potential, everybody got some type of gift or ability inside of them that they good at, or they can bring out of themselves, fam. And you want to use it wisely. You don't want to get old and regret not using this or doing this and that because you was good at it, or regret not going after that goal or that dream. You got to understand that, fam. So at the end of the day, if anybody pulling you down, then cut them off. Don't think twice. Don't think twice about it. We ain't around no negative energy. We ain't around nobody who ain't trying to grow and evolve. You got to understand that. So at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you and make yourself happy. All you need to do is eat, sleep, and mind your business. Stay out of people's face. You see, when you cut people off, like I said, they're going to try to call you selfish, call you arrogant, try to call you this and that, but you got to understand that, fam. What was I about to say? You can love people from a distance, and that's what some people like tend to respect you more at, is if when you loving them from a distance. You see, you don't got to be all up in their face. You don't got to be always around them, but you know it's still love. You on a different type of mission than they is. And they not going to understand until you get there, until they see you achieve it. You got to understand that you won't win away from everybody thinking they saw the vision or saying they was here for it. You got to understand that. So at the end of the day, do what's best for you and make yourself happy. I love you on your Who Should Love You even more. Stay up and blessed. We true to this. We not new to this. A1.